Hey guys, today we have this 2009 Land Rover Range Rover. This one is the 4.2 supercharged V8, and we're gonna do a lot of suspension work here. We're gonna be replacing all this, mostly the front differential, the front suspension, which is we have a lower control arm right here, the whole set of lower control arm, and a couple ball joints, sway bar link, stabilizer, auto tie rod, and another control arm here. So we're gonna start doing that. Let's get to it. All right, let's start with front right side of our suspension work here. Let's go ahead and check what do we have. As you can see, we have this lower control arm. There's two of them, one on the front side and the rear side. The rear side, you can tell a crack right here. That's pretty bad. And from the ball joint here, it's a little bit cracking there. And this is the other control arm, the front side. A bit cracking there, and there you go. That's cracked as well. All of these need to be replaced. This one, the tie rod end, need to be replaced too. It's cracked, and the stabilizer, that one, is all cracked on the top side as well. So this need to be replaced. We're gonna start here. The ball joint too. This is separate. The ball joint there. So that need to be come out. All of them need to come out. Looks pretty easy. We just have to be careful, like with this sensor here. We need to remove that. So, all right, let's start with this, and we start removing parts out. The axle on the right side looks okay. A little bit wet there, but my left side is really bad. As you can see, it's leaking already, so we're going to be replacing too on that side. But I always start with the passenger side first. So let's go and start removing parts here, and let's get going. I believe this one has two different parts here, so we're going to make sure which one is left and right. Okay, before we start removing and go crazy removing all the parts around here, this little height sensor here, let's go ahead and disconnect this one. See this here? There's a nut behind it, the size 10. So you just make sure you hold that, and go ahead. This one is size 10 as well. So let's go remove this so we don't break this or forget removing it. And this is one of the important part of the suspension. It measured the height, and so let's remove that. And you can lay that hanging there as long as you don't break it, so that's fine. Okay, and I'd like to start one at a time here. So this one on the front side, this is the auto tie rod. This nut here, so you can see, let's go ahead and remove that. I think loosen that one, and that's a size 24, so I already loosened this one. Let's see, there you go. Yes, loose. I'm not even gonna twist it, just lose it there. That's good enough. And this one here, the nut on the end of it, this one is a size 22, so I have a size 22 here. Let me see. Let's go ahead loosen this one too. There you go, I got it loose, so we can go ahead, remove this, and replace a new one. Okay, once you got that loose, I normally just bang this with a hammer a couple times, and once that is loose, there's a tool removal for that. I don't like using that. I think this is faster. That's loose, and we're not reusing this one. I don't care about the threads. That's actually loose already. All you gotta do is just twist it just a little bit, and that should come out. You see that? There you go. And that is That one is out already. And as you can see, this doesn't look too bad, but they do have a crack back here. See if I can show it to you guys. Like here, see the crack? Yeah, that's the crack right there. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove this one. Now, what I'm gonna do is spin it, because this is loose here. I should be able to spin this one. There you go. And facing up, let's always remember this is facing up. So I'm gonna count it. 1. Let me go ahead and put this back here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That's pretty far. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's 25. Even though I can use that, my reference here, and not there, I still like to count it. If that one twisted or move a little bit, at least I know it's 25. And this one is pretty bad right there. So let's get a brand new one and install it here. All right, so we got a new part here and the old part. I like to compare it. Look like the new one's a little shorter here, and from here to here is same from this square here. From the top it's a little bit shorter, so the number that I counted backward will be as same as this one. If I'm not gonna follow the nut here, the distance. I have a new nut. I'm not even gonna put it. This is more skinnier, the new one. I'll leave the original there, and it comes this. Don't forget this piece on the back side of that. So let's go ahead and try to count it. I think I did 25. Don't forget to insert this one. Start from the top. So that's where we ended counting. So I'm gonna turn it. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 3, let's see, 4. See that? That's 24. And I think I'm gonna go ahead, spin it just a little bit more. 25, still pretty about the same. Let's check this out. All right, so we got that in. I'm not gonna install on hub yet right here because we have a few more to remove. So my next will be, we can go ahead, start with this control arm here. I'm gonna do last with the stabilizer. So let's go ahead, move on the other side, start removing these two lower control arms. All right, so all these bolts here for the control arm, both they call it upper and lower, but I'll call it forward and rear, size 21, and the nuts here are size 21. One underneath here. Let me show you real quick. So size 21. Lose that one. This one as well, size 21. Same as this one, is size 21. So let's go ahead, remove all that so we can remove all the control arms. And make sure when you remove it, this side has a nut behind it. It's size 21 as well. So make sure you grab that. This is a nut as well. So you make sure you grab that when you drop it. All right, so I got them removed, this and this one. And for these to remove it from the ball joint down here, I'll show you the ball joint, what it looks like here. This ball joint here, I use a ball joint separator from here. So let me show you real quick. quick one. Put it underneath here, and then the bottom side will go to the bottom of the ball joint, and that helps me. So this is ready to go. As you can see, this is pretty bad underneath here. See, yeah, that one. See that? That's bad. And this one has a torque, e-torque. So we're gonna remove that ball joint there. And here, this is just loosened. I got the nut in the back. Go ahead and remove these. Let's see. This is a cover. This is just a cover here. You can bend that one. That's fine. Let's see. I should come out. There you go. And as you can see, this is pretty bad. We got cracked there. So we got a new one. Replacing that with a new one. Same thing with the other side here. I'm not sure if this is bad, but might as well replace it. As you can see here, those are cracked. And we got a new one. Replacing that. The sway bar link is size 19. This here, oops, sorry. Sway bar link is size 19. I'll remove that too. And go ahead and remove this one. This is not a size 19, so should be easy to remove it. Yeah, there you go. Let's check this out. Sway bar link. Oh yeah, that's ugly. So we all got new stuff going with that one. Put this back, got washer there. So anyway, so that's pretty much it for that. Let's go ahead and put the new parts and let's get rolling. Those new suspension. Seems like my inner tie rod, if they're replaceable, I'm gonna go ahead and replace that later on. See that? It's not holding it. So in the future, I'm gonna replace that too. But I'm gonna go ahead and install the new parts. Okay, and then the next one, this ball joint right here. That torque screw there is the size of that will be T50 right here. It's T50, which is going to be this torque one. It goes there, and sometimes they're pain in the ass to remove it, but if you have them on WD-40, lubricate all of them prior of removing it. They're going to be easy to work on, like this one. I soaked them for like about 5-10 minutes. Nothing too crazy, unless if you're really rusted in your area, you can probably soak it for longer. So this should come out easy as well. There you go, and this one is really gonna knock this down. It should come down. We're gonna push it from the top. Because it's old, I like to push things out with hammer or air hammer. So this is gonna come out. Okay, so from the top here, because we're putting a new one, I'm just gonna air hammer that one. I like this tool. This one just press everything out. Let's see. See that? Let it come out pretty quick. We drop that, and that's as bad. Let's go ahead and get a new one. Press it in. It will go the same way from here. I'll probably clean this area here. Fine sandpaper, and put a little grease here, and that should be good to go. So this one I found a Scotch-Brite. So I'm just gonna clean that just a little bit before I put a new one in. Okay, so we got a brand new one here, and this go both ways, either way. And actually the second lip is where it's supposed to go. So I'm just gonna grab our bolts, and we're gonna put it there, insert that bolt on both sides, I believe they're the same height. So I'll put the other one on the other side, and then we're gonna tighten them one at a time, so evenly it will just squish this in evenly. Okay, so you can see that one still not fully in. I'm gonna go ahead tighten this one side and the other side slowly until it's fully in. You don't want to compress one side all the way because it's not going to be flat. So one in there, one here, there you go. And all the way there. That's good. Then I'm going to go ahead and torque that one with the proper specs. It's kind of all the way in there. Check all around, looks pretty good. All right, so the torque specs for this bolt here is a 44 foot-pounds. Specs, all that said you need to put a new one. I'm not putting a new one, so I'm just gonna torque it to 44 foot-pounds. There you go. Both sides of them gonna be torque, and I'm gonna keep going. Start putting the lower control arm. So time to install the control arms. Already put one down here, and the other one goes like this. It goes here. Let's go ahead, just make sure it's in. Okay, so then we're gonna install that here with the ball joint here, and once we install here, we're gonna put the nut back and torque them down, but I am not gonna torque this down yet. I'll torque this down when the car is sitting in the proper height with the load on it. That's what you need to do with this one. So right now I'm just gonna connect this here for the ball joint, and same thing as this one, and then continue with the stabilizer installation. Okay, put this in. Let's put the nut just to hold it. The next one is the rear. Call it lower, I think. Right here. Bend this just a little bit. Then see if you can push this in just slightly. There you go. That is in. And put the nut. We're gonna snag tighten them. I'm not torquing yet. We're gonna snag tighten them until everything is installed. Okay, so those are ready. Those are ready. The outer tie rod is already installed. It's not torqued as well. This one actually you can torque this one, the outer tie rod. Outer tie rod can be torqued down even the car is lifted. So the sway bar link, the same thing. You can torque this down or even the car is lifted, so that's not a big problem. It's just the lower control arm, you want it with the load to torque it down. So this one is going to go in. There's a little bit of pain there. So let's put the nut back in and find the torque specs for that. So this end nut for the sway bar stabilizer link, it spins when you're tightening them. See that needle spin? What you gotta do is get an Allen, and this is a HW5 or 5. Insert there so it will not spin when you do that tight. Then so you can torque it properly. Same thing on the top side. Just do that and you should be okay. Okay, for this sway bar link stabilizer, the nut for this torque is 74 foot-pounds. So we're gonna torque this one. There's two of them, one here and one at the top. So, and we can torque this while the car is lifted. It's no problem. And this nut from the tie rod end, this torque is 52 foot-pounds. So we're gonna go ahead, torque this down. And this one, like what I said, this is okay to torque it even the car is lifted. There you go, 52 foot-pounds. That's good. And don't forget to tighten this side here, this nut here. As long as it's tight, that's good enough. All right, so the torque specs for the lower control arm for the ball joint area right here is 59 foot-pounds, and that is safe to torque down to while the car is in the air. This is the one like we need to torque down while the car is down. These two here. These and the other side up here, they're both 59 foot-pounds, and we can torque this down. This one is size 22 millimeter. There you go. And the other side will be same thing, 59 foot-pounds. And this one is going to be a little bit tricky to torque it down because it's going to be hard to access it. This one here, as you can see, there's no room, but we're going to use a flare, I think a flare nut wrench to get this torque down. So this one I have a special extension here to get the access for this. So I have this Crawfoot, I think the Crawfoot wrench, flare nut wrench, and I get an extension here and my torque wrench. As long as you're at 90 degree on that, you can torque it properly, the same torque specs, and that one's tight enough right there. So you can see, make sure I'm not hitting anything in the back, because if you are hitting it, that's most likely that's because you're torque, but right now that's pretty tight. So that's 59 foot-pounds. That's good. That's good for us. So we're done torquing that. Then the rest that we have, just double check everything. So we get this torqued down. Auto tie rod, this is torqued down. Sway bar link is torqued down. Control arms torqued down. Of course, we're not gonna torque this down. We're gonna finish this up. I'm gonna go to the other side first to finish the other side and bring the whole car down later to torque this down. And don't forget to install your height sensor right here. And put that back. And when we're done with this side, I'm gonna go on the other side. I'm gonna go ahead and do the axle. I gotta replace the axle for that too. So let's keep going. Okay, so now we're in the driver's side. We're gonna be replacing the same thing here, all the auto tie rod, the control arm, lower control arm, stabilizer link bar, and also this axle shaft, CV axle. So you can see it's really dirty. Boot is messed up. See all this grease here. So everything needs to be removed. So be able to move this. At the same time, we're gonna be removing this axle nut here. Then we can separate them later here. So let's go ahead and remove. I'm not gonna show you the whole thing to remove it because it's the same thing that we just did a while ago. So first I'm gonna remove all this control arm and the ball joint area. But you could actually start with these two. Okay, for this axle nut here, we'll be using a 12 point size 36 millimeter. I don't know if you can see that, 36 millimeter. So let's go ahead and remove these. Okay, it's coming out. There you go. That one is loose. Sorry. So I'm gonna leave that for now and remove all the control arms here. Get it loose so we can remove that. Alright, everything's out here. All we have is this one. Let's go ahead and remove this one. Sometimes this is pain to remove. That's it. Did that move a little bit? No, it did not. So you want to make sure it's centered. Like as if it's not. Alright, this time I want to move to a different position. It's not centered, but let's try this out. Keep spinning. There you go. Finally got it. See that? Did you hear that? I just have to twist this on a different angle. And they got out. but that's good. I'll take that, and then I can go ahead and move this one out. All the control arms, everything underneath here. So all we gotta do is remove this axle nut here. Remove that, put it inside, and this one we need to push it. We need to push that in. But before we push that in, I'm pretty sure that inside is rusty. We're gonna put a little bit of WD-40 to. It's a lot of rust there. It's gonna be hard to remove that. But what I'll do, I'll grab this 4-piece, the rotors, and use an air hammer to push that out. See, be careful you hit this, the outside part. Make sure just the middle part. Oh, the spindle. I think it's moving. I'll show you inside. See the gap back here? You have a gap now, so you can still put WD-40, make it a lot easier, but I think it's moving now. You can see here, that's already, you can see this, the gears inside, so that's coming out. I'm just gonna keep doing that, so it'll come out from the other side. See. Once you're all the way in, be careful you hit that, the gears. You don't want to hit that. So you gotta be very careful. So, see that? I slip. Gotta be careful with that one. So right now, it's going in. So I kind of hit that race a little bit. Should be no problem. The axle nut just go in there. So that's good already. You can hammer it down just a little bit if you want. Put something here. Let me see. So it's pretty much in. Let me get something to hammer it. Let me find something. I don't think I have anything I can hammer that down. There we go. Try this one. There you go, it's going in. This is much safer now. I'm going to be gentle now with these. And it should come out from the back side. Let me see if I can show you how this thing is going to come out. And here. There you go. See that? That thing is out. That's nasty axle that we have. So from here, we have to separate from the other side. I'm gonna get a pry bar to remove that. Now we're gonna separate from the transfer case. This one. Separate that with the pry bar. If this pry bar didn't work, I'm gonna have a bigger pry bar. But from here, because this is an old one, I can just hammer it here. It will come out. It should come out. Because that one is soft, that will not come out. Pretty easy. So I'm gonna give me some room here. I'm gonna attach this so it doesn't move much here. All right, so what I'm going to do on this back side here, you can see the axle here. From there and from this side, the back side. All right, I'm gonna have a pry bar there and knock it with the mallet right here. So push out. See that? I'm gonna have it there. I will see if that will separate. I think it's moving. I see the gap. See the gap there? That is moving. So once that drop, make sure you have a rag or something, because it will, the fluid gonna come out there. So let me go ahead, keep pushing this one out. There you go. That's coming out. See that? That's it. The whole thing is supposed to come out. This one too need to come out. So let me see if I can pull that from here. If I can go ahead and pull the whole thing. And the new axle is ready. See if I can pull it. This is pretty big, pretty heavy. Is it moving? I think it's moving. Yep. So I'm gonna get my rag ready. This is gonna be a mess. Put a rag here. And then once I pull it out, I'm gonna cover it with the rag so it won't spill much. Ready? Go. Gotta count. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Almost there. That's almost out. Let's see if I can hammer it again. And that is really coming out. Just slowly. There you go. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's it. I think we're gonna reuse this piece here. Not rubber here. We're gonna reuse that, so we don't want to break that one. Once it's out, come on. Let's see if I can. There you go. And lift up. Put a rag. All right. This is out. Let's go ahead and compare it. All right. So this is out. Can't really see because it's pretty bright out here. But let's go move right here. I believe at first I was gonna replace this boot. I think there's something making sound there. If I measure it from here to here, looks about the same size. Here, same length, but this one's stretched out. See that? Something wrong inside. But if you measure from here to here, the outside in, but same. Wow. I think something wrong inside. So we're gonna play around that later on. And this one, we don't need this one. Like what I said a while ago, you might need it, but I don't think we do. So you have another one here already. So this new one is ready to go in. All right, let's go ahead. Put this in. Before actually I put this in, I want to clean this everything up here. See how dirty this is? I'm gonna clean this up. Yeah, I don't like dirty stuff. All right, that's pretty clean enough. But now, ready to go in. Part 2. All right, grab the new one. Let's go ahead. Over here. Make sure it's straight. Get the rag out. I'll clean this area. Supposedly you should replace this. um, little gasket there, but that seal, axle seals, I am not, because I'm lazy. But go ahead, make sure that's straight. Hopefully, because once you have that, line, we should be able to push that, the whole thing. We can push the whole thing in. You see here, the gap is still there. Make sure to close that gap. So from here, I'm gonna push the whole rotors. Okay. Go 1, 2, 3. That's it. One more. I think we can push just a little bit more. I think that's it. That's good enough. And now you can go ahead, put this in, put the axle nut, close it up, and put everything back. And of course, this is going to be torqued down. We're going to check what's the torque specs for the lug nut, for the axle nut, and then the rest will be the same torque spec as what we did on the other side. All right, we got the CV axle in, so you can see it's flush there, and then this side has pretty good. We have the axle nut in. I'm gonna go ahead and let's go ahead, just like we can't torque it yet until the whole car is on the floor, but at least put it in right now. We're gonna torque that in a little bit, but we're gonna go ahead finishing up removing all these, our auto tie rod, our control arm, and I'm gonna skip all that right now because we already did that on a while ago. On the other side, it's gonna be the same process. So we already got that removed, the ball bearing, ball joint here. So we're gonna install everything back, and I'll show you how to torque the axle nut and when everything is on the floor. All right, we got everything installed, all the control arm, lower control arm, rear and front, the outer tie rod, everything is torqued down. And also do not forget our height sensor install. The only thing that we did not torque down is this lower control arm, the one on the subframe. Both of them are not torqued down. We're gonna torque them down when the car is on the ground. Same thing with this axle nut here. So we're gonna put the wheels back and we're gonna torque them down. Let me go ahead. This one, the axle nut is 311 foot-pounds. This one here is I believe is 121 foot-pounds, same as the other side. This one, that's 121 foot-pounds plus 90-degree turn. So that's what we need to deal with. So right now, let me just clean my brakes, make sure there's no grease because I've been touching it. Clean that really good, and then I'm gonna pop this one here so I can torque the axle nut. Let me pop that real quick. There you go. Because you need the access to torque the axle nut, and of course we have the 36 millimeter 12 points for that. And the lug nuts, they're torqued down to 103 foot-pounds. All right, I'm gonna go ahead install the wheels, and I'm gonna bring the whole car down. All right, so I went ahead install the wheels, and then I'm gonna go ahead and drop the whole car, and I will not put all the weight on. It will be somehow still on the lift, but it's somehow fully dropped. Okay, and if you guys watching this, thank you for watching. If you think I missed something or I did something wrong, let me know. And this is one of my daily car or off-road car. I have plenty of projects of this. If you guys want to follow my channel, it'd be much appreciated. And maybe you could help me how to you know, do upgrades here and there for this Range Rover for L322. Okay, let me see, let me show you guys. This one is still not fully dropped, as you can see. There you go. Okay, I'm still on the post here, so it's not fully dropped. I'm fine with that because I need to be able to access the bolts. Okay, so from here I can torque down the I can go ahead torque down these lug nuts, and this lug nuts is 103 pounds. Let's go ahead and torque this down. 103 pounds. Let's see. 100. All right. Let me get this. All right. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead torque the other side too, and I can go ahead torque the axle nut first on the other side. Go do that. Okay, so we got a little bit of situation here. Even though I got this hole open, this 36mm socket does not fit here, so I'm gonna figure out how to torque that. At the same time, I don't have a torque wrench that reach up to 311, so I'm gonna buy one. So I'm just gonna leave that for now. I'll try to torque that. The maximum torque that I have is 250 foot-pounds, so I'll figure this out, but that need to be torqued down to 311 foot-pounds. Okay, and for the lower control arm, what do I have is, it's here. Let me go ahead torque it down. Let's see, put a light in here so y'all can see it. There you go. That's pretty tight already. And this one is 121 foot-pounds. I do have this one reach. Hear that click. And also what we need to do after torque, you need to turn another 90 degree from here. Let me see, so I guess I gotta do another extension for this so I can make a 90 degree with my wrench. So from here I just have to do another 90 degree from here. Let me see if I can reach that. Okay, slip. I went like 45 degree, so I'll do another. Make sure you reach 90 degrees, so that should be enough for that. And for the other side, I'm gonna figure out how to reach it. We'll see. I think it shouldn't be that much of a problem. It's easier to see here. Okay, that's it. Okay, to reach the 121 foot-pounds on these, you gotta have a wrench for the nut so it doesn't just spin around. And I got a long extension for this one, as you can see here. So let's see if I can reach 121 foot-pounds with this one here. Okay, stand up. There you go. And then after that, we're gonna do a 90-degree. I would say all the way up here. I'll try my best to reach 90-degree. So I'm gonna keep trying to get 90-degree as long as I have my 121 foot-pounds. All right. So I got everything torqued down on the suspension, or the control arm and everything. The one problem that I have is the axle nut. So I have this way. I inserted my socket inside between my wheels, and that I did not tie it fully. All as long as when I drop this, it doesn't spin. As you can see, it's in there. It should be able to torque it. It's not too tight. And the second thing is, my torque wrench is only max up to 250 foot-pounds. So either way, I'm still gonna have to buy a bigger, stronger torque wrench that reach 311. So I might buy a 600 foot-pounds max torque wrench for these. But for now, I'm gonna go ahead torque this with the maximum I can do, 250. Let's see. Hopefully this is not too tight, so I can still spin it. Yeah, that thing spins. That's good. See, the wheel doesn't spin. It's just my torque wrench. So I'll try it one more time. I'm too close. I might need an extension for this. Give me 1 second. An extension here. Let's see. There you go. You want to make sure, all you gotta do is loose this just a little bit more. I'm gonna loose this one. But these are all loose, so they're not holding any of that. That is tight. See that? This one's still moving. I'm not attached to the wheel. This socket is not attached to the wheel, so I'm still torquing this axle nut. But that's the 250. That's my max. So for now, I'm okay with that until I get my torque wrench. I'm gonna torque it again. All right, guys, we're done with this. We'll still have to wait for the torque wrench to get the right proper torque for the axle nut, but this is done. We still have more work to do. I still have some little like knocking on the, I think it's the intermediate shaft. So that's gonna be the next video. I hope you like this video, and I'm gonna have, this is my personal car, so if you want to follow me for this work, I have plenty to do. Like this one, I have to replace this one here, so you can see have a I do have a parts car for this, so I have no problem of switching up. So you can see I have another one here, this one. So we're gonna have a lot of work for that. If you guys follow me, it'd be great. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and till the next video, guys,